Consumer Protection and Mr.
It has been named Digital Services Act, or DSA, and it is the European Union new law designed to tackle hate speech and fake news online. But it is much more than that. The DSA, which came into effect on August 25, stipulates that online platforms with more than 45 million monthly active users will have to take off illegal content, hate speech and so-called disinformation from their platforms, or they will face fines of up to 6% of their annual global turnover.
As
it occurs for many other EU laws, the DSA's real objectives seem to be hidden, while it is clear that the risk the EU could abuse this mechanism is worrying indeed. My concern is that people's rights that have been so far protected by our Constitution may be circumvented by lackluster provisions.
More than 40 online giants, including Google, Facebook, Twitter and YouTube, must now comply with the new legislation, which will force them to be legally accountable for everything from fake news to manipulation of shoppers, government's propaganda and criminal activity, including child abuse. But a question remains open. Who decides what counts as real or fake news? And who decides what is and is not disinformation?
This is the real issue. Who decides what disinformation is? According to the ACT, this decision will be made arbitrarily by some EU officials with the help of trusted flaggers, bodies of people entitled to tip the authorities off. Which bodies? Which people? In my view, this whole legislation was designed to contain growing dissent in the EU.
Many in Italy, including some political organizations, newspapers and individuals, have expressed deep concerns over the DSA. Even the head of the League's delegation to the EU Parliament, Marco Campomenosi, has warned the DSA is likely to strengthen censorship on the Internet. The League is one of Italy's coalition government parties. On the heels of the DSA, also a new European Digital Markets Act has recently come into effect. The provision is designed to regulate competition between large and smaller companies. Tech giants, for instance, will no longer be allowed to rank their own products or services higher than those of their competitors for the sake of consumers or end users, the EU says. The regulation of the Digital Services Act will be overseen by the European Commission itself, not by an independent regulator. The implications for freedom of expression are obvious and ominous. Max Civili, Press TV, Rome.